This is a significant trade that I took quite a while ago, and this trade lasted me. This trade took like a couple months to play out because this is on a daily time frame, right? So I just wanted to talk about this trade, and because I just came across this trade today. I was just scrolling back through my charts and looking at old setups, and I just came across this trade, and I just thought to myself, wow, this is a good trade to post on my channel and talk about how I did it and why I took this trade and everything you need to know. It's fairly very simple, actually. This trade is actually fairly very simple. So we're going to be talking about it, and we're gonna go ahead and actually we're just gonna go ahead, and by the way, this is a weekend and we're just back testing our strategies and stuff. So let's just go and hide this. Okay, let's go and hide it. Now the reason I'm gonna put it on replay mode right to about over here. Okay, right to about over here. So hide. All right, so we're over here now. All right, we're over here, and we can see price leaves a huge wick, right? Huge wick. And usually what this wick means is price is going to go up, and there's a huge downward wick, right? So the wick is from down to up, so price is going to go up. That's what it means. And as we can see, there's this level of resistance over here that price needs to cross, this level of support, because like I said, this is on a daily time frame, right? So a small level of resistance is actually counted as a major level of resistance. So price has to cross this level of resistance first. So what I first did was I took a long trade from right about over here, which I actually deleted that setup, but I took a long trade from right about over here to here, right? And it was a fairly risk-free trade that played out very well in my favor, and you guys are gonna see why. Well, I think my setup was kind of wrong. Anyway, it was like that. I took a long trade over here, and price ended up playing out really well. As we can see, we just exited there, and I actually took this long trade, and I guess I set my stop. I think I took my trade at this candle, if I'm not wrong. I think I took my trade at this candle, not there. That's why I set my stop loss below this. That was my bad. I didn't take the trade here. I took the trade here. So anyway, this was a good long trade right here. This is a pretty good long trade because, as I said, this is a resistance level, right? And it did end up respecting our resistance level. So we're just going to do that and label that as our resistance, because that is our resistance. So that's our resistance right there. And now what we're going to be wanting is we're going to want price to do exactly what I'm going to say. Okay, we're going to want price to get out of this resistance, break out of this resistance, because we already had a double top. And so we went down and we're trying to break out of the resistance. So price has to go up, come back to the resistance, bounce a little bit, so basically break and retest, right? Bounce a little bit, and then you can expect price to go back up again to this level right here, right? Because again, this is another level of resistance. You can expect price to go back here. So that's exactly what I waited for. I waited for a break. So let's wait for a break and retest. So price broke out, right? Price broke out. Now we're gonna wait for a retest. So this was our retest, right? This was our retest. It created a double bottom. Let me just take this out. Price here has created a double bottom. So this was our retest. So let's just go back till here, right? So this was our retest. What happened here is our retest right there. That's our retest. That's our retest line, right? Because again, this is a double bottom. Price created a double bottom here, a change of character, if you may say. But it's not really a change of character because it's not lower. It's not breaking this upward structure. It's not breaking the momentum because it's still a higher high. Anyway, so it's here I was getting ready because this I can see it's a double bottom here. So the next bullish candle I see, I'm taking the long trade again. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play out, and there was our bullish candle. So we see one bullish candle, another bullish candle breaking this structure right here, because as you can see here, this structure right here, is respecting multiple levels, 1, 2, and 3, right? So if I just bring this down a tiny little bit, that's respecting 3 levels right there. So this is a major level right here. So if we have price break out of this level, we can break out of this level and bounce here once, so break and retest, and we can take another long trade up to here. So that's what I waited for. That. As you can see, price broke out right there. Price broke out of that level, and now we're just going to wait for a retest. There it is, our retest. That was our retest. So that's our confirmation. So the next bullish candle I see, this was my setup. I already set up my trade. So this was my setup. So I took a long trade. I was expecting a long trade. So once price crossed this level right here, this level, so it's 1, 2 respecting, right? I'm gonna explain that just a little bit better in just a second. Okay. And we're gonna have our stop loss right below our previous low. So this one, right? We have 2 lows here, so price might come back down here. So we want our stop loss to be right below our lows, right? And that was a pretty fair trade. And this was our confirmation, right? And so that was my setup. I had my setup right there, and so we waited for it to play out again. There we go. So that was our trade, right? We took that trade, and we had some significant profit already. So we're just gonna wait because our confirmation worked. We had confirmation, right? So we're just gonna wait. And there we go. That was our win. So now we are gonna have our new setup, right? That was our second win. So this is our first win, this is our second win. I'm explaining everything to you guys, exactly my thought process behind these trades. Okay, so break and retest, right? Break and retest is very important. Identifying trends and identifying the markets is very, very important. Okay, now we have another strong resistance level right here, right? So we're just gonna draw that, and right here, and we're just gonna draw that line right there, right? That's another resistance level that we have, and I'm just gonna name that resistance because that is a resistance level. Now we're gonna wait. So this is the resistance. You saw my thought process behind this, right? Now we're gonna wait for a break out of this resistance zone. Okay, we're gonna wait for our break out of this. So let me just play this real quick. There's our break. We broke out of the resistance zone, but many people, what they do, they make the mistake of entering the trade here. It might end up being a fake out, so you have to be very careful. You don't enter a trade just because you see one bullish momentum candle. Okay, you got to be very careful. So that's our break and that's our retest. Okay, so now my next setup was right above this zone, okay, that was my next setup. My next setup was right above this candle's high and this candle's high. So that's a double top basically, right? Right above the zone till our right there, and that's it. There we go. That's it. And again, I don't know how these are just my thought process. This is just exactly my thought process behind these trades, right? So exactly what I did and exactly how I would trade is exactly behind this, and I'm explaining everything to you guys. Now we can see a double top here, as you can see, over here and over here. So we're gonna draw our line from right here all the way to here. Okay, and we're gonna label this our double top. Okay, top, since we can see here and here there are huge wicks. You can see the same setup of candle, right? Here and here we have huge wicks from the top to the bottom. That suggests that price is most likely going to go down. Okay, here we can, because there's a double top here, we can definitely look for a big trade here, right? That was what I was talking about. I was talking about that big trade, but I also wanted to explain you guys every other trade I took on the way to that big trade. Okay, so here, as you can see, you can wait for price to go down and you can take a short position, but that short position has to have some meaning, right? You have your double top here, so I'm gonna have my short position right here. The reason why it's right here is this candle is a huge candle, and this is a huge marking. Okay, this is a huge there's a huge important line right here. This is a big important line, and same thing we have over here. So this is a very important you could say zone. So we're gonna label this as our major key level. Okay, that's what it's called. It's called a major key level. So we're gonna go template, apply major key level. I'm gonna do major key level 2. Okay, text is to the middle and center. Okay, so we have our major key level right here because we have huge wick right here and the price is respecting that over here as well. So that's a major key level, right? So now what we're going to wait for is we're going to wait for price to touch this zone. It's going to touch this zone and it's going to come out and it's going to retest, and we're going to take our short position. Okay, and we're going to have our short position taken till here, this zone right, this double bottom right here. Okay, so we're going to wait for price to come down and touch this zone, retest, and then we're going to take our big short position down here. Okay, and we're gonna have our stop loss right above our double top right there, and that should play out pretty smoothly. And let's see, here we have our first rejection right here, right? So we have rejection, so that's another resistance level, to be honest. And now we have our downward momentum, downward push, and right there we broke it. We have upward push because this is a major key level, like I said. So we are gonna have upward push, and as you can see, this wick is exactly the size of this body. It's ending on the size of this body. So this body is right here and the body's ending here and the wick is also ending there. That you know for a fact that that's a major key level, right? And now we have price again pushing to the top. That's why I said wait. You don't just take a trade because it breaks out. We have to wait for retest and confirmation. Now is when I took the trade, right? I had my setup already done, and now is when I took the trade. And we just have crazy win. Like, I mean, just watch this, just watch it play out. Like, it's just fabulous. Watch it play out. And we're already having crazy downward push. And we just won that trade right there, and price took us out. Now I can set another short position because now I'm gonna wait for what's called again, this is our major key level, right? There's another major key level. Oops, this is another major key level. So what I'm gonna do is take another short position right here at the resistance line right here, and I'm going to keep the take profit of this at exactly our entry at this long position. So, and our stop loss right above this candle's high. Okay, and it's this candle's high as well. So as you can see, this is respecting twice. So that's a major key level. Identifying this is very important trading. Now we are going to let it play out. That's where I took my trade, and I did end up getting stopped out here, which is also something I wanted to say. because always trades cannot end up in a win, right? So I ended up getting stopped out here. This was our trade, and I'm pretty sure I took it here, or it's either here or here. Regardless of where I took my trade, I got stopped out. This was a losing trade. Right after this huge win and all these wins, all these 4 wins that I had, fabulous wins, this was a losing trade, which is okay because I only lost around a couple bucks here. So it just took us out, and I expected price to fall down again because we had a double top, a pretty fair double top, and I expected price to fall down again, but it didn't end up doing that. So we just ended up having a really bad loss here. Price took us out very easily and clean right on our stop, and yeah, that happens in trading anyway. So that's that was my thought process behind these trades right here. Okay, these trades are fairly simple and fairly understandable. If you just pay attention and watch my whole video, you can understand this very easily. It's not very hard. I explain my whole thought process behind all of these trades and why I took them and everything I know to you guys. And again, this is a stepping stone to add the actual big trading strategy that I have, which I actually apply to take my major trades. Anyway, this strategy works on every single time frame, not only the daily time frame. So you guys can do this on every single time frame. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next video.